Bohag Bihu is perhaps Assam's most important festival. This festival is a brief insight into the vast and glorious cultural significance of this heavenly state. With a geographical area of 78,000 square kilometers, which 3.09 crore inhabitants call home, large groves of evergreen, deciduous and riverine forests provide a safe haven to an exotic manifold of species of animals including the one-horned Indian rhinoceros, wild water buffalo, Asiatic birds, tigers, and provides one of the largest wild habitats for the Asian elephant. Most tourism companies suggest visiting this green utopia between the months of October and April when the sun shines brightly and there is no contemplation of the disastrous monsoon months. And rightly so, because every year during the monsoon period, the Brahmaputra and the other rivers overflow their banks and unleash floods onto the adjacent lands. These torrents of water cause irreplaceable damage to life and property. Crores of rupees worth property including houses, buildings and livestock are lost. Widespread destruction to crops cripples the agricultural sector. Transportation from roads to railway tracks is hindered due to the landslides and washing away of roads and tracks. This makes taking timely help to those affected all the more difficult.
Due to the state's geography, Assam lies across the floodplains of Brahmaputra and its tributaries. So while on one hand, the river acts as a beautiful blessing to the agro-based state, on the other hand, it turns into a bane for the very same kind. On top, the faulty implementations of drainage systems, embankments, coupled with deforestation or soil erosion, kind of trigger nature to continue raging on its fury.
In 2020 monsoons, the Assamese people's worst nightmare unfolded. The floods which persevere every year were catastrophic in magnitude this year. 80% of the Kaziranga National Park was inundated with water levels reaching 80 centimeters above the ground and are still rising.
Flood in Assam is not a this year's phenomenon. It is happening for time immemorial. It's because of the geography and topography of Assam. Flood used to come and it used to refertilize the land. It was a natural happening, but the character of flood have changed. Flood from a natural ecological part of the living, it became a catastrophe. Developmental activity in the neighboring states and countries like Bhutan, Arunachal, even in China, it affects the floods in Assam. It affects the character of floods here. Flood no more refertilized land like earlier did. Now it carries sand. The tons of sand. Huge tracts of agriculture like in Lakhimpur, Dhemaji, the easternmost districts in Assam, and then filled with sands. So the agricultural workers and peasants, they hardly get any livelihood after the flood goes. Earlier it was the reverse. They used to get a more fertilized agricultural land. The havoc created by flow of the river with the break of the embankment, building embankment, and they are breaking away during flood, and the rebuilding has become a nexus of corruption. Embankment itself is not being done very properly. It's everywhere it breaks, and then the water comes like a huge flow. Rather than a slowly, smoothly increasing water, it comes in a huge flow and it carries away, it flow away the houses and human and animals, and it becomes very sudden.
Assam is in the midst of figuring out what caused this calamity, but some reports attribute it to several reasons, including earthquakes and landslides, bank erosion, encroachment of water bodies, and non-implementation of the Brahmaputra dredging project.
पूरे जो चौर इलाका है, जो रिवर आइलैंड है, इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा लोग इफेक्टेड हुए हैं और हर साल ऐसा ही होता है। और जो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से जो रिलीफ है, एनजीओ वगैरह से जो रिलीफ है, ये सफिशिएंट नहीं है, क्योंकि जो गवर्नमेंट जो रिलीफ दे रहा है वो रिलीफ मैनुअल फॉलो नहीं कर रहे हैं। ये मैं यकीन और जिम्मेदारी के साथ कह सकता हूँ। गवर्नमेंट सिर्फ राइस और पल्स दे रहा है। चाल और दाल से कोई लोगों को जीवन नहीं चलता है। लॉकडाउन ने पूरा खत्म करके रखा है, उसके नीर के हड्डी तोड़ के रखा है गरीब लोगों का। लॉकडाउन शुरू हो गया और अभी फ्लड ने उनको पूरा जो आपको खेत में जितने सारे अनाज था, पूरा अनाज खत्म हो गया। उनका हाथ में जितने सारे जमा पैसा था वो खत्म हो गया। माइग्रेंट लेबर, देश भर के माइग्रेंट लेबर घर में वापस आ रहा है। बोले तो एक ह्यूमन क्राइसिस सिचुएशन है कि पिछले साल में जब कोई फ्लड आते थे, उस फ्लड में हमारा पास लॉकडाउन नहीं रहते, खुद के पास कुछ ना कुछ खाने का चीज़ था, कुछ ना कुछ जमा पैसा रहते थे कि उससे चल जाए 1-2 महीना। और इस बार ये फ्लड अर्ली भी आया है और बहुत ही ड्यूरेशन बहुत कम है। एक ही महीना में 3 बड़ा बाढ़ आके गया है। जब को पानी आके सूखने लगता है, दूसरे बार फिर भी पानी आ जाता है। तो पूरे ये महीना भर से भी ज़्यादा दिन ये पूरा गाँव पानी के नीचे।
The Chief Minister of Assam, Sarbanda Sonowal, reported 70 lakh people being affected by these floods, with Golapara being among the worst hit districts.
বাঢ়ি গৈ আছে। এই ধৰণৰ পানী হৈ থাকিলে বাৰ আমাৰ কৃষকসকলে খেতি কৰাৰ বাবে কথা ভাবিবই নোৱাৰি। কাৰণ ইতিমধ্যে কঠীয়া যিসকলে পাৰিছিল কঠীয়া নাই, বা যিসকলৰ ৰোৱা হৈছিল ৰোৱাগিলা মাৰি লৈ গ'ল। এতিয়া আমাৰ ইয়াত তাৰমানে খেতি কৰাৰ কথা ভাবিবই নোৱাৰি।
The death toll currently stands at a terrifying 133 bodies and counting. These do not count the hundreds of animal deaths that are recorded, including rare rhinos and other endangered biodiversity. Over 50,000 people have been uprooted from their homes by the floods and are being sheltered at 521 relief camps across the state.
People have to leave their home and take shelter in relief camps for months. This year, the flood started from May and affecting more than 35,000 lives. The main occupation of the people of Assam is agriculture. People works on their field with intensive care, and this labor is not valued because the flood destroys month-long hard work in period of 2 days. We, the team Serving Happiness, is organizing a fundraising campaign for the flood victims of Assam. A total of 200 families had received the reliefs yet so far. Our campaign will continue till August 2020. We want to reach more families.
Saving Assam is a Herculean task, but together we can make a difference. Only through a community-based effort can we ensure that our brothers and sisters who have lost their livelihoods and their homes have a chance to return to their everyday lives.
I just hope that we stop turning a blind eye towards it and be contented with the fact that this is something which happens. No, let's not think like that and really try to find a one-time permanent solution for it. Of course, the people of Assam are really grateful that so many individuals, institutions, organizations come forward to help them in this distressing time. But we also need to think, why is it that every year we have to complain about such disasters? Why people have to really suffer these disasters and then struggle for attention in media, struggle for attention in the national media, international media? Why it is never spoken of enough?
We need to persuade our leaders to heed the warnings of environmentalists and scientists. Only by taking adequate precautionary measures can we safeguard such a tragedy from ever occurring again. Hi, I'm Kabir Naik, a documentary filmmaker from Goa and the creator of this film. I decided to make this film when I saw a very sad post about Assam and the flood situation right over there. Thus, I took it upon myself to save Assam and do my own little bit towards the cause. I've linked a few NGOs in the description. I've made a website where you can find each and every NGO who's actually working on ground, and you can help people staying at your own house. Do contribute in your own way, maybe through donations or by writing about it and raising our voices and making the Assam floods a national issue. We need to save Assam, and we can only do it together. Thank you so much for watching this. Your share will really mean a lot to the people of Assam and to me. Thank you. Let's save Assam together as a community, as Indians.